Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. So the good news for today is Judgment Day, isn't it, for Judge Engoron in the New York case? So today could be the day that Trump's business empire goes boom. Yay!
Yeah.
You said, you tweeted actually, Trump has been doing his nefarious best to play musical chairs with his many criminal cases. Well, it looks like the music is about to stop and he'll be forced to take a seat in the defendant's chair. Let's get this justice show on the road. Well, in terms of consequences, that may start today, right?
Yeah, and think about it. At the first civil trial, when he didn't show his face one single time in the courtroom, he was ordered to pay $5 million. The next E. Jean Carroll trial, when he did show his face, he was ordered to pay $83 million. And in the New York civil fraud trial, which we're waiting for Judge Engoron to give us the final tally there, when he showed his face quite a bit, he's probably going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. So I don't think Trump appearing in court necessarily works to his advantage. But here's the good news. In every criminal trial, he will have to sit in court all day, every day, making those faces, gritting on the witnesses, trying to storm out. And listen, his unabated string of losses in these cases, E. Jean Carroll 1, E. Jean Carroll 2, New York civil fraud trial, is important foreshadowing for what's going to happen once these criminal cases get underway. The first one will start on March 25th.
I was just going to say.
He is sunk.
Well, and also, people keep making the point, Glenn, which is good, is stop calling it the hush money case. It is also an election interference case. And, I know...
It is. And it's an election interference case in 2016. It is also a falsifying business records because you were hiding hush money payments because you wanted to gain unfair advantage in a presidential election. That's the motive. That's the core of the case.
And I know people are saying, oh, well, that's not as big a deal as the other, the Jack Smith cases. But, one expert saying it could be between 1 and 4 years in prison and he would be sentenced just weeks before the election. The analyst said they analyzed hundreds of comparable cases, came to their conclusion about Trump's possible sentence. The trial should wrap up at the end of April. If Trump is convicted, he'd be sentenced either the following summer or fall. Yeah, and he said because of, as you just said, his behavior in the court, his lack of remorse, it would make him a candidate for that range between 1 and 4 years. So I do have the feeling of momentum. And now talk about, because you also tweeted, Supreme Court seems to be moving quickly in Trump's attempt to get a stay on his D.C. trial. In a sane world, the SCOTUS wouldn't take the case, but we're far from sane times. Talk to us about that and about Jack Smith's filing.
Yeah. So look, Jack Smith's filing predictably came within about 12 hours. He had 7 days to file it. He filed it within about 12 or 14 hours. And he said, listen, Supreme Court, there is zero reason for you to take up this case because there's no constitutional principle involved here. In fact, the Constitution says a president can be prosecuted even after he's been impeached for the same conduct. So he has urged the Supreme Court to lift the stay, put the case right back in the hands of Tanya Chutkan, the trial judge, so she can put it on the trial track. And the beauty of this trial up in New York, that one should be ending right around the time his D.C. trial can get underway. So we're going to see potentially back-to-back criminal trials, criminal convictions of Donald Trump. And as I say, he is done. It's been a long time coming, and we're not there yet, but we're getting really close.
And they're going to rule it funny. Well, let's just stay on the case. And Georgia's up and running. Okay, you just make me happy. So, Special Counsel David Weiss charged a former FBI informant with lying about Biden and his son Hunter's involvements in business dealings with Burisma. Boom, there goes the Alexander Smirnov. Facing charges and connections with lying to the FBI and creating false records. There goes their entire thing that we already knew was BS, right?
Yeah, anytime you're dealing with a source, and that's how this witness was described, an FBI source, the three most important words, Steph, are corroboration, corroboration, and corroboration. You want to make sure whatever that source is giving you is truthful, is accurate, and it can be corroborated in multiple ways. That's true of somebody who comes forward and gives me information in my investigation. It's true if it's somebody I'm going to put in the grand jury, somebody I'm going to put before a trial jury. But you know what? When you're going to put that person in front of the American people in a congressional hearing, you know, involving the possible impeachment of a U.S. president, how stupid, how reckless, how dirty are you as a member of Congress putting that person up to testify or accepting that person's word if you don't corroborate that person? So, you know, the only question is, are the Republicans just like irredeemably ignorant, and did they know that this person was lying? They said, we don't care.
This is what I wanted to get your reaction to. This is Jared Moskowitz on that very point.
When did James Comer know this was false, and how long did he conceal that from the American people? I mean, are you telling me he just found out through the indictment, or has he known all along, or at least for a period of time, that this 1023 form was made up? Those are real questions we need to get to the bottom to. In addition to, you know, Speaker Johnson ending this sham impeachment, he should be looking into that, and whether maybe James Comer should even stay as chair.
I mean, your thoughts. It's and again, we don't know, but really, did he just find out yesterday from the news?
Steph, this is not just incompetence by the Republicans. This is dirty. It is dirty, and to put a compromised source who's now been indicted for lying to the FBI up to try to impeach a president, come on, it doesn't get any worse. And I think it's a further indication that the Republican Party is in a nosedive, and I don't know that there is anybody in that party strong enough to try to pull them up out of that nosedive.
Okay. There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry. If I have an extra glass of wine, I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/political voices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.
Boost your immunity now with Tapiro, the new high-potency, great-tasting elderberry gummies infused with zinc and vitamin C. Tapiro is available exclusively at healthpowerusa.com. Boost your immunity. Order your supply of Tapiro now at healthpowerusa.com.